You're listening to Leadership's Insights, Navigating Career and Life. I am Maggie Rombach, your host, bringing inspiring stories and practical advice on leadership, career development, and work-life balance.
This is a new feature I've been cooking up for a while, and I'm really excited to finally kick it off. And I'm particularly happy to kick it off with you, Rathan. So Rathan is a dear colleague of mine, and he'll tell you more about his leadership journey in a second. Before we get there, I just wanted to say a few words about this new feature. So the idea is to have various leaders come in here for a short and concise interview. So I'll be challenging Rathan to be to the point. And to cover 5 questions on leadership questions, and then have a quick fire round where the idea is to really answer super concisely with one word. So with this, let's kick it off. And first, I invite you, Rathan, to really very briefly tell us about your leadership journey, please.
Thank you, Maggie. Very happy to be featured in this leadership journey news section of yours, and can't wait to read it as a newsletter. Where I start my leadership journey, I began my journey since 2006, working for World Health Organization as a consultant, delivering their change management strategy, setting up their first global shared services center in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And then I moved on to Madagascar for mergers and acquisitions of technology. I was there for 9 to 10 months, which made me remind of how much I miss international setting arena, working with international organizations. Then in 2011, I came to Geneva for the Global Fund. I was working in their corporate services division and later took over their business division, business innovation. During that period, I pushed myself to do an executive MBA from IMD Lausanne. I went with my class to China, United States, India, and other locations where I fortified my leadership skills with the different systems thinking, governance, platform, working for public sector organizations, what sort of polycrisis that we may encounter while we are implementing this strategy. And during that, I understood what is my ultimate USP is I help senior leaders embrace complexity and change. And that brought me to ICRC in 2020. I started as the advisor to the chief of staff and the operation business support manager. And this is my 6th role in 4 years in ICRC. It's been an amazing journey where I got to develop the strategy, implement the previous director general's vision, and now I'm managing the portfolio of people transformation in people and culture department. So that kind of shortly summarizes my leadership journey. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. So now people get a bit of a sense of who you are as a leader. So that's great. So let's get into the questions. And I'll be looking a little bit on my cheat sheet because this is the first time I'm doing
Same to me.
Excellent. So let's start with the first one.
Yeah.
So what are your top 3 guiding values, both in your career and your personal life?
See, where I grew up in Bangalore, south of India, where leading a contented life is attributed in the service of others. In Sanskrit, there is a saying that we follow quite early in life. It's called Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That means world is one big family. So I made a conscious decision of working with international organizations quite early in my life. So hence, even after an engineering degree, I went on to do consulting roles. So one of the first and foremost rule that I follow in both my personal life and professional life is a shared sense of purpose. I need to have a shared sense of purpose because it's that will wake you up on a Monday morning to go and deliver the best from your ability and skills that you have been learning so far in life. Number 2, be authentic and be helpful. The hope that you're actually giving to the other person or a beneficiary in the field or the friend you have in life is probably the one thing that they are waiting for. And the third one is we all have different journeys, but don't make it a boring one. Have fun while doing it. Make as much connections as you want. Make people happy. Be peace with everything. And read a lot of books. Travel a lot of places. And respect everybody. I think these are the 3 things that I always follow in both my personal and professional life.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. I was about to recap them, but I'm not sure if I could do that in one word, but it was about shared purpose, about joy and fun, and about authenticity. So that's really great. So the second question is around your accomplishments. Can you give one that you're proud of and explain briefly why you're proud of this accomplishment?
Um, Before I say that, whenever we say accomplishments, it's never one person's accomplishments. There is a series of people behind it. But at this face value, we will take an accomplishment. I will take a professional accomplishment, which I did in 2021 and 2022 when I was leading one of the largest transformations within ICRC. Because the magnitude of the program or the transformation initiative that I was leading was huge. And the pace was also huge. The Director General had announced that he will have a new organization structures, 6 leaders offboarding, 6 new leaders onboarding. And just to make our lives more difficult, we announced it at a time when you had a poly crisis staring at us. At that time when we were speaking, we had the public hunger, geopolitical tensions, Russia-Ukraine crisis, Yemen, Horn of Africa, South Sudan. And to cherry on top, in the month of Jan 2022, ICRC was hacked. Yet, staring at all these things, with me and my core team, we were able to do the entire transformation of headquarters on 1st of July 2022. That too with 27% savings, which can be reconstituted and reinvested beneficiaries in the field. And this one I'm extremely proud of because the team that we created was a high performance team and it's still there, but they have moved to different departments and they are creating a high performance team where they have gone. So for me, it's an investment for ICRC that we did. Second, it comes at a point where everybody was facing uncertainty and yet we were able to pull it off. Third thing, having an internal focus where the external focus is everybody is trying and testing you in a very fragile world, tests your resilience character. And I think for that, I'm extremely proud of the way we did the work. Last but not the least, once we did that, imagine this was every organization coming out of COVID. So we had to cater to both the audience who were in the headquarters, who were in the field. So just to give you the scale, it was 2,000 people at headquarters, 18,000 people worldwide, 6 directors, 5 deputy regional directors, 1 director general, 1 president's office, 2.5 million Swiss francs budget, and a core team of 12. So I'm extremely proud of this accomplishment. And I did go to the archives to see when was the last time this magnitude of a project was done. I think probably was 25 years ago. So I'm extremely proud. Maybe 100 years from now when people will read about it, when I won't be around, that will make our work speak for ourselves. I think that's what my answer is for that, Maggie.
Wow, congrats. And yeah, I've been part of the journey, as you know, and it's been a bumpy ride, but yes, congrats to the team. You managed it in an amazing way. So really great. So over to the next one. So this one is about hiring and promoting individuals. What qualities matter most in your view beyond technical skills?
Can you repeat the last part?
So when you hire or promote somebody, what would you look for beyond technical skills? What other qualities would you consider?
Excellent question, first of all. A caveat before even getting that I hire and promote people, I've had the pleasure of working with some of the best managers I've had. And I asked something very similar to all of them. Why did you pick me? And you would be surprised. All of them said nothing to do with your skills. And it all said attitude and preparation. So when I hire somebody or when I promote somebody to hire, let's do that. Off late, I've been hiring a lot of young people to come and work in my team. I look for the right attitude. Skills can be trained, can be handled during an onboarding process, can be set a plan for them to pick up the skills. Attitude is something that is very difficult to shape. You have it. The proactiveness, the understanding of what the organization does, what's its strategy, how was the governance, what are you prepared to do to understand that. Second, to promote is your preparation. How do you tackle a normal job that we give you? When people would give me the job, I'm being an engineer, so I'm going to be very vertical and horizontal here. I always break them down. I always break a massive transformation or a massive project into bits by bits, phase by phase. I know what is needed. I know who will need to be there on that team. What are the things that we cannot go wrong with? Fourth, how do we communicate? So I put all these things in every phase I do. And some of the people I've interviewed recently have really blown my mind because they even go one step further. They say, how can this connect to the second or the third phase of the project? So the preparation actually shows me, and we always look for such people because one, they bring the best thing, the skills, capabilities, and attitude, the three Venn diagrams put together, the ikigai, that kind of a picture there. Second thing, they will help us work hard as well because they put you on the spotlight. Because if they are prepared, you should be prepared well enough to also work with them. So attitude, preparation, last but not the least, a good camaraderie and collaboration. That is very much important. They should be the catalyst. They should be a positive catalyst to ensure that the work gets done faster. So these are some attributes that I look for when I'm hiring or promoting people.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Very insightful. Opens a lot of other questions we could put out there now, but I stick to the script for now. So the next one is around work-life balance.
Yeah.
You have any top tip in current fast-paced world how to keep a good work-life balance? One tip.
Your mind is your biggest asset. Your body is the second biggest asset. So do something every day for 30 to 45 minutes, which secures these both assets at the same time. Whether it's running, walking, listening to podcasts, whether it's laughing with your friends, do it. But do something that keeps both your coherence and your health at the top. Because if you have your mind, body at your peak, you will be able to perform better. And when you have your mind and body in sync by doing something every day, automatically work life will be balanced. That's my top tip.
Thank you. And as you know, this totally is music to my ears. And that's why I have a body-mind connection section in this newsletter as well.
Oh, excellent.
That's great. So this is the last big questions, which is around any valuable lessons you might have learned in your private life, whether it's, sports or whatever it might be, that help you at work to perform better at work.
I think I might have a different example, something that I pushed myself to do, and that led to a very transformative journey, which helps me now as well. The one thing that we are always scared of doing, probably that is something that will change your future, or that will probably give you the biggest positive impact in your life. In 2017, I was kind of deliberating a lot of times, should I do a master's program or not? In 2017, I was picked up. I applied for the IMD Executive MBA, and I was picked to join the class. I was one of the youngest to join the class. The dean even asked me, you still have time. Why do you want to join? I said, at that time, it's the most important thing for me, and I cannot waste time around it. It was a 15-month-long program. And honestly, one of the first things that helps you in your life is discipline, your habits, your micro habits. James Clear I can't summarize it better than James Clear. He's one of the finest authors of our time, and he did that, right? Get your discipline around. So those 15 months, what I did opened my mind to a whole new discipline. It made me more receptive to different ideas, different perspectives, different background. My mind was getting more information in those 15 months than the last 30 years combined. Then I traveled to different countries, with the same class. There you meet few other C-level leaders who give you golden nuggets when you're going from one place to the other. And then in San Francisco, I spent almost a month, listening to all the Y Combinators, the venture capitalists, the startups people. And that actually makes you think like, how can we solve a problem in a million ways? Right? And the basics of that, of all the people, I found the common thread, which is even helping me today, is your daily habits. Do something, as they say, I just read a beautiful thing yesterday. It said every day you need 3 winnings. One is a win for the body, that you do something. Second, a thinking win, that you kind of read and write something or something that stimulates you. A third thing is a well-balanced win. That means you're having a good time with your friends or family, having a good meal together, sharing a good laugh, These things, if you do it every day, then you're bound to do something amazing, irrespective of where you are in life. So this is something I still cherish today. And I believe the transformative journey I went through there is helping me in finding my leadership journey at the moment.
Excellent. And actually what I hear you say is, on one hand, discipline, but also this connecting the dots of all these different inspirations that you had during the years. So yeah, it's great. Wow. Thank you so much, Rathan. That was really deep and insightful.
Thank you. Thank you for the interesting questions.
Let's take a deep breath, because now comes the second round, and this will be even more challenging, because now the idea is really, I fire a question at you. It'll be a bit military style.
Okay.
And really, answer with one word. There's maybe 1 or 2 questions where you might need more than 1 word, but really the idea is go for 1 word. Okay?
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
So, describe your leadership style in 1 word.
Servant leadership.
Name 1 significant role model.
APJ Abdul Kalam.
Okay, I might have to ask you later about who that is, but let's keep going.
He's India's rocket scientist and 11th president.
Oh, wow, excellent. So I just outed myself as being ignorant. So what's the key to successful teamwork? 1 key to successful teamwork.
Trust.
1 must-read book.
Wings of Fire.
Okay. What would be your dream job if it wasn't your current one?
Oof. There's so many. I would say Chief of Staff to the International Committee of Red Cross.
Okay. I hope we'll probably have many Red Cross listeners here, so let's see how that'll go.
Yeah.
What's your preferred superpower that you'd like to have?
It's a very tough one, but going back in time and learning from our past mistakes, that would be a superpower I would love to have.
Oh, wow. Yeah, going back in time in general would be great.
Yeah.
And what are you most grateful for?
Everything. Family, friends, wonderful opportunity to contribute to the society. Best of the times we are living in with technology, also the worst, some might argue. And also we are going through such an interesting time where everything is shifting. And you're in the center, right in center of it. And we couldn't have been more luckier than this.
Wow. So really as a mindset, gratitude. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you. That was the quick fire. So now you made it. That was actually fun. That was one of your values, I think. So as we wrap this up, I would invite you to just share 1 parting thought. And it really fits well to your last comment about traveling back in time. What would be your career advice to your 18-year-old self, or to any young person starting out, or in like motivated young individual wanting to step up?
That's a very good one. If I were to give an advice to my own 18-year-old self, I will generalize other 18-year-old self, is be curious, because curiosity is not just an intricate attribute of humans. It's in our evolutionary attributes as well, because curiosity has saved us for many, many millennia of years, and it is continued to save us as well. Funny thing, your post-it notes was born out of curiosity. Your popsicle was born out of curiosity. Spencer Kenny was working in a radio waves lab, and the chocolate bar in his pocket melted. That's how the microwave oven was born. So that was born out of curiosity. And curiosity has led to vaccines, to wheels, automatic wheels, space exploration, discovering galaxies, Nobel Prizes, inventions to the core from a microcosm to shipping rockets to different planets. And I believe that's one trait, attribute of a human character that everybody doesn't necessarily potentially use it to its face value. People are curious, but I would always see a child with a 1-year-old, 2-year-old child and see how curious the child is. And I believe we should always imbibe that. Be curious in whatever we are doing. And if you are curious enough, you'll find a very good way or different ways to chalk out their own leadership journeys. Coming back to why we are talking today, I think curiosity has been an extremely good factor of how I have proceeded so far in my career, in my personal life, in all my relationships with my friends, my alma mater, my professors. Be curious, and that will take you places.
I love it. And that actually reminds me of a saying that I really appreciate myself. I have to look up the author, which is focus on being interested and not interesting. Yes. So
Yeah.
be interested and not interesting.
Not
And that
interesting,
links
yes,
to this
exactly.
notion of curiosity.
Very true,
So,
very true. In fact, if you're saying a quote, I would also connect back to the book which I mentioned, The Wings of Fire. It was written by our own 11th President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, who is not there anymore. But many of the students and engineering students held him as their role models. And he always said, dream is not that you see something in sleep. Dream is a thing that never lets you sleep. So that is how you should be
wonderful.
curious enough.
I love it. What a finish to this interview.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much, Rathan.
Thank you
This
very
was
much, Maggie.
wonderful, very insightful, and actually fun. So that's great.
I enjoyed every moment of it. Thank you.
Thanks for testing this new format with me. Let's see how it goes. And,
Absolutely. And I wish good luck to all the readers. And I definitely hope they find this they make this newsletter as part of their work-life balance to ensure they are more curious.
Excellent. Thanks. Well, have a nice afternoon. And
You
we'll be
too,
in touch.
Maggie. We'll be in touch. Cheers. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Leadership Insights, Navigating Career and Life. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, keep leading authentically with your heart and mind.